Good Monday morning. It is the 11th of November. Thank you, veterans, for your service to this country. Freedom is never free, and we appreciate your sacrifices to keep us free here in the United States of America. Thank you so much for your service. And today we should clear up from the rain that we had yesterday. I mean, it depended. It was spotty as to how much we got. Some got more than others. Probably around 1/4 of an inch, maybe a little bit more in a few places. Maybe even a little less in other places. So not the soaking rain we need to put a dent in the drought, but so be it. So we go through the day. You're going to see some ice bars here and a secondary push of cooler air, so that tomorrow, as we head to the east side here of the high pressure system, we see these northerly winds kicking in and the slow departing. That's going to definitely cool us down. So today's warmth could be an anomaly for a while. It's going to actually get a little more chilly for a bit, at least through the weekend. High pressure stays in control, but its location is damming the air east of the mountains. It's called cold air damming. So you see these ice bars kind of dipping here, sagging, because this high pressure is bringing cool air down east side of the mountains. So that'll keep us kind of chilly as we go through the week. Another front will approach later in the week, so now we're getting into Thursday. This is a storm that, depending on just when it arrives and how it arrives, could bring us some more rain. Look at that, mountain snow is possible at the start. Then it does something crazy because it's going to get shoved by a block. So this is the block I was mentioning before, this North American Oscillation, NAO. It's going to block stuff to the south of us. So it blocks this low straight southeast. So that could bring a few more showers into early next week and just moves it out over the sea. We are kind of warming up. I mean, it's not warm really because we still got some northerly flow here and obviously on the backside of the low, but not as cold as it could be for this time of year. But hold on to see what's going on. This blocking pattern is why this low, if you can see all this moisture and stuff to the north, is not being let loose. This is northerly winds off the backside of the low. So it's going to keep us cool. Not super cold, like I said, but cool definitely because of the northerly flow. So what we're going to see is highs pretty normal suddenly. And nighttime lows getting chilly. I mean, we'll see upper 20s, low 30s this week. So we'll have to see how things pan out. But don't be surprised. You get some strong freezes. This is a reminder now, finally, that you could both plant your bulbs if you haven't. Still have time. Get out there, plant the bulbs in the ground. If you didn't do that, you can go get that done. Secondarily to this, I would go ahead and drain those hose bibs because we're getting the 20s possibly a few times this week. And if we don't do it this week, we get some interesting weather in the long range just to be watching. So again, you see the blocking, what it does. The slow cannot leave. So this low in place, northerly winds keeping us chilly. And we keep going in here in the future, and this high is getting stuck. This low stuff off the East Coast is being stuck. And here comes a Canadian low. Now, this is going to change things because although all this was stuck, you can see now the wind pattern is different. And we're getting the southerly push here winds. So this is a warm-up, it looks like, into the 17th or so. This is next weekend. So maybe we start off a little chilly, but we kind of warm up a little bit for a few days. But hold on, because it looks like there's going to be a pattern-changing system. It's going to be interesting because of two things I'll show you. One, this isn't a super warm or cool pattern. This looks kind of zonal. I would say we probably warm up a little bit next week. So definitely look for above normal temperatures, which is pretty much what the things are showing. But you see, northerly winds here again, really pushing down. So even though we warm up a little bit for a few days, it's going to stay kind of chilly in the long run too. So we're just seasonal, which is pretty good for this time of year. Not super big warm-ups. Now we're getting to La La Land. I mean, we're over 200 hours past 168. We can start saying this is kind of La La Land in general. Did you see, something else in the Gulf brewing? Is this true or not? I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't really guarantee it or anything. But this low here in the middle part of the country is a gangbusters for a snowstorm in the plains. And some serious winds. I suspect blizzard conditions based on this. If this was true, again, we're in La La Land, so its truthfulness is still yet to be seen. But here we go with this potential tropical system. Don't know if it's true or not. Just going to say it's out there on the forecast model. You see us, though. We're staying somewhat cool, not super cool, but we're staying dry. which is not a surprise, I know, for us. Everything kind of gets bottled up here, and as things finally move east, it's pretty dry. But you see cold air infiltrating the country way far south. So if this is to come true, we could see the coldest day of the season coming in right around the 22nd weekend. It's a little bit delayed, a little bit different. Not surprised, models usually are a little aggressive on bringing cold air in here. And then look, the whole country goes dry, and we go cold east of the Rocky Mountains. I don't think it's going to stay super long. It doesn't look like a sticking pattern, but definitely the coldest air of the season is possible for a few days or several days in a row. Maybe even some reinforcing shots of cold air. I'll have to see if this is true. This is way far out there, and so I wouldn't really guarantee it. All right, this ends up being a long one. If you want to continue, you can. If not, that's the GFS. I'm looking at the European here. I'm going to go ahead and click here into the future. Same kind of scenario for the day in the next couple of days. High pressure system bringing in cooler air. Here's the front on Thursday. A little more capable maybe of some rainfall for a few days. A little different way in which it produces that rain. So just something to note there. Northerly winds here, so it should be pretty chilly. And then we're looking in the far future. Another little shot of cooler air next week. So that's on the 20th. And we're looking for that big pattern change, right? Well, look at the difference. I don't see super cold air invading the region around the 20th here on the European at all. So it looks like to me the European is a little bit below or behind where we would say the GFS is for this time period. But one thing I would note is it also has this Gulf low system. So for me, this just looks like a little bit different as far as timing, but maybe it will also bring in the cooler air in the long run. Hey, long forecast for the day. Have an awesome Monday. Thank you again, veterans, and your Loudoun County Weather Outlook.